CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Najahe Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. And off the top, we have breaking news. A police-involved shooting in Miami. We told you about this when it first broke less than an hour ago. Chopper 4 over the scene. This is along Northwest 58th Street and 7th Court. There are reports a man in his 40s approached officers with a sharp object. One person has been taken to Jackson Memorial Hospital with multiple gunshot wounds. FDLE will now investigate. CBS News Miami's Najahe is at the scene. She is speaking with people in the area right now, and we'll have a live report tonight at 5. Miami-Dade County is terminating its lease with the Miami Seaquarium. It's after a string of federal inspection reports. They allege poor care of animals at the facility. The Seaquarium has weeks to vacate the government-owned campus. CBS News Miami's Anna McAllister has the very latest developments.
The Office of Miami-Dade County Mayor Daniela Levine Cava sending a letter to the Miami Seaquarium today saying that they must vacate this government-owned property by April 21st. And this comes after years of controversy with the Miami Seaquarium and their parent company, the Dolphin Company. Back in the fall, in September, the USDA, they came out with a report stating some very disturbing discoveries. They found a 2-inch nail in one of the dolphins' throats. Other dolphins, they found cement in their stomachs. Others reported having broken ribs. And the county's letter to the Dolphin Company, as I mentioned, the parent company of the Miami Seaquarium, states that they have numerous significant lease violations. And if the Seaquarium doesn't vacate the premises by April 21st, it could lead to an eviction. And this afternoon, Mayor Daniela Levine Cava, she discussed the details behind the termination here. We're going to have all that information coming up at 5 o'clock tonight on CBS News Miami. But for now, reporting from Virginia Key, Anna McAllister, CBS News Miami.
A deadly shootout at a Broward County Transit Center. CBS News Miami's Joan Murray has the report.
Two people who work together here at the Broward County Bus Transit Center off Copans Road are dead. No names have been released, but here is what happened according to the Broward Sheriff's Office. It was around 11:30 last night. Apparently, these two men were engaged in some kind of dispute, and one of the men ended up shooting the other. Then he was armed. That is when BSO arrived. And according to the Broward Sheriff's Office, the man shot at them, they shot back, and he was killed. So again, two people dead. We talked to Crystal Miles, who is a worker here. She was inside a bus cleaning it when she heard the gunfire, and here is what she had to say.
We were on the buses cleaning, and we just heard shots rang out. We had to literally run for cover, like literally run. It was real scary, nothing like I've ever experienced.
The county offered grief counselors for workers. Workers were also given the option of either working today or going home with pay. The investigation is continuing. In Pompano Beach, Joan Murray, CBS News, Miami.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look outside, some showers still moving through the area, but what can we expect as we move through our day? Next, weather meteorologist Cindy Pressler has the breakdown.
My goodness, it is hot out there. If you were saying when you went outside today, said, it is hot. It feels like summer. You're exactly right. 86 degrees this afternoon. My goodness. And that's helping to develop some of these showers and storms. And the sea breezes became involved today. So this is very much like the wet season we're seeing here. And it still is the dry season officially. But what happened here is the West Coast sea breeze came in with an upper level westerly flow, ran into the East Coast sea breeze and pinned it, and that's where these showers and thunderstorms are sitting right now. We still have a few up here in Broward County, Pompano Beach down to Fort Lauderdale, really starting to make its way off the coast now. Still could put down 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts and some heavy downpours here. One came through my house earlier today, and that rain just came straight down. There was no wind with it, but the sun was also shining. So it's interesting how these storms, these tropical downpours develop develop here across South Florida. Current temperature now is dropped to 84 degrees because there is some rain in the area, but look at Fort Lauderdale. Because of the rain, 76 degrees. Homestead still at 75 degrees. This is well above average for this time of the year, but you add the humidity to it, it feels like 87. At the peak, it felt like 90 degrees this afternoon. Very muggy, and even with the cold front that is sitting to our south now. So our modeling wants to keep these showers around for the next couple of hours, but then they will slowly make their way off into the Atlantic, move to the east, and we will dry out overnight tonight. We should be partly cloudy. Temperatures will stop at about 70 degrees. So here is your forecast for this evening. We're looking for temperatures to drop slowly into the 70s. Low again around 70 degrees, and then tomorrow will be a drier day, although because of the moisture in the atmosphere, we're looking at some patchy fog tomorrow morning. Visibilities could drop down to a mile. Pembroke Pines, Opelika, areas away from the coast. That's because there's so much leftover moisture in the atmosphere. It'll burn off though by about 10 o'clock in the morning, so no problem there. Spotty showers still possible tomorrow. Most of them will be inland though, but the drier air overall is going to be drier. Then we wait for another frontal system, but ahead of this front, record heat is expected on Sunday with highs in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. Front comes through, maybe some showers on Sunday. Cooler, drier air heading into next week, so that's going to bring that, finally we're going to like that. So your forecast though, with that near record high temperature coming up on Sunday. Up until then, a little bit warmer each day, 89 Sunday, and then back to about 80 degrees next week with dry conditions, lots of sunshine.
Cindy, thank you. Starting today, Miami Beach will begin enforcing enhanced public safety measures. That's as it braces for an influx of spring breakers. CBS News Miami's Peter Dinch tells us what we need to know.
If you're looking to go to Miami Beach this weekend, you may be challenged finding a place to park. At this one garage, the cost flat rate is $100. The city has also closed all public parking garages below 42nd Street for the next 2 weekends. The city says if you're looking for a place to park, check out some private lots. It's all part of a crackdown by the city because of problems during spring break. The past few years, in fact, the upcoming 2 weekends are the peak of spring break. Now, coming up tonight, starting at 5, we will hear from people, their reaction to these higher prices and limited parking. We'll also hear from the Miami Beach mayor as well. That's coming up starting at 5 on CBS News Miami. On Miami Beach, Peter Dinch, CBS News Miami.
Today, the trial for the father of the Oxford High School shooter began. James Crumbley is charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. The judge ruled that some text conversations between the shooter and his mother were inadmissible. The judge says she doesn't believe James Crumbley was aware of the messages. She also ruled that a text conversation between the shooter and his friend would not be included as evidence. A gymnastics coach is accused of a disturbing crime. CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor has the latest on the allegations against him.
Thank you. Both alleged victims are now adults because the presumed sexual abuse occurred over a decade ago. So, today's testimony, in which you only hear the audio and no video to protect her identity, she claims that Oscar Olia had full-on sex with her when she was 13 or 14 years old.
With one of the victims' moms, is that correct?
The defendant seemed to be taking notes as the prosecutor rolled the audio of the alleged second victim. Key Biscayne detective Jose Carvajal was the one who took her testimony, apparently in January of this year. According to the alleged victim, she decided to talk after our news partners in the Herald published articles in which Olia had reportedly been accused by parents of another minor who claimed last year the coach touched her bottom. He denied the accusation and responded on an interview with police that gymnastics is a hand-on sport that calls for coaches to touch their athletes. Wednesday, victim 1 testimony was rolled. She said she had a sexual relationship with Olia.
You did everything. You was touching it, feeling it, making me say, oh, does it feel good?
Coming up at 5:30 p.m. on CBS News Miami, more of the alleged second victim testimony and what the defense of Oscar Olia is doing. In Miami, I'm Yvonne Taylor. Back to you.
When we come back, a controversial homeless bill is closer to becoming law, what it could mean for those who do not have a place to live, and how opponents are reacting. Stay with us.
For many, marijuana is medicine. Doctors say it treats
sleep, depression, focus, concentration,
among other things. But should the need for weed also include fun?
And while I used to be all for it, I'm somewhere in the middle now.
Either way, recreational use may hit the November ballot. I'm Chelsea Jones. I'll tell you why, if voters say yes, our economy could enjoy high earnings. Thursday at 5:30.
Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. A controversial bill approved by the Florida Senate is now heading to the governor's desk for his signature. It would bar cities and counties from allowing people to sleep at places such as public buildings. In the past, Governor Ron DeSantis has voiced support for it. The measure would allow local governments to designate certain property for sleeping or camping. Opponents say the bill is an effort to get people who are homeless out of public view and does not address the more pressing and root cause of homelessness. Different kind of rescue earlier today for Broward Sheriff Rescue Fire officials. A seagull got caught up in a fishing line at the top of a light pole. Take a look. This happened in Lauderdale Lakes. The fishing line was eventually removed from the bird's feet. It was then lowered to be set free. Well, that does it for the CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.